In our latest installment of More Florida Foolishness, we have an HIV-positive Lakeland High School track coach accused of sexually battering a teen boy. Let's listen to the video.
High school is in jail behind bars tonight, accused of molesting a 16-year-old boy. Jarvis Young faces several charges, including sexual battery. Fox 13's Aaron Mesmer reports from the Polk County Sheriff's Office, where investigators fear that more victims may be out there.
Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd says a track coach at Lakeland High School groomed a 16-year-old student and then took advantage of him. What's more, the sheriff says this is a man who proved more than a decade ago that he couldn't be trusted around kids. This is Jarvis Young's mugshot from 2011. He was accused of conspiracy to commit sexual battery on a juvenile, a charge that was, Judd says, a track coach at Lakeland.
That was 2011, his 2011 mugshot.
Groomed a 16-year-old student and then took advantage of him. What's more, the sheriff said
it's 2023 now.
This is a man who proved more than a decade ago that he couldn't be trusted around kids. This is Jarvis Young's mugshot from 2011. He was accused of conspiracy to commit sexual battery on a juvenile, a charge that was dropped. Investigators say the statute of limitations had run out at the time. Young has a new mugshot now, and the charges are similar.
He got away with this before, and he wasn't smart enough to quit because he's addicted to having sex or trying to have sex with teenage boys.
Somehow, Young was a track coach at Lakeland High School. Sheriff Judd says on August 26th, a 16-year-old student athlete asked Young to help him get faster and stronger. Investigators say Young brought the teenager workout equipment and then took him to lunch.
Now understand, he told the kid, I'm a trained massage therapist. He buys him lunch, and he also gives him equipment. We call that grooming.
According to the sheriff, the 40-year-old coach offered to massage the athlete's sore hamstrings. We're told that's when Young molested the teenager.
He's a classic predator, child predator. He's a classic pedophile.
Judd says something else made this situation even worse.
He tried to and briefly had sex with a child, knowing he was HIV positive.
And not disclosing that fact is a third-degree felony. The sheriff says Young never should have been around kids, and now it's up to the Polk School superintendent to figure out why he was.
He's doing a deep dive into all of this, saying why was this guy around the students, and what was the history, and what did we know, and when did we know it.
We've reached out to the district, and we're waiting to hear back. Meanwhile, investigators believe there may be other victims. If so, they're urging those people to come forward. In Polk County, Aaron Mesmer, Fox 13 News.
So, I've said this before. These monsters know whose children they can mess with and who they can't. And I'm gonna skim through the article really quickly because I saw some things that were interesting. Okay, so Grady Judd already said, that he took him to lunch, bought him some stuff, and tried to massage him. So right here it says Sheriff Judd says the boy's mother. That was Saturday afternoon. They spent Saturday afternoon together. Sheriff Judd says the boy's mother told him to tell the school resource officer about the incident when he got to school on Monday. What? These mothers ain't shit. Monday. So the boy did tell the school resource officer. Let's continue. According to the Polk County Sheriff's Office, detectives determined that the teen was not only touched, but he was sexually battered, and the track coach, who told detectives he was HIV positive, fled the state while they investigated. He tried to and briefly had sex with a child knowing he was HIV positive. Okay. Sheriff Judd said, okay, we already went through that. There's something else also. The coach, according to PCSO, said he would help the victim. He picked him up on August 26th, and they went to a Mexican restaurant. Brought it to the victim's home. Okay, massage therapist. Okay. Okay, here we go. If you can't believe that's horrific enough, we arrested Jarvis Young in 2011 for conspiracy to commit sexual battery on a juvenile when he and another adult took two juveniles to a motel to have sex. How don't y'all know where your kids are? We ended up making an arrest on that. However, the charges were dropped because it wasn't reported to us until the statute of limitations as they were at the time had expired. Yes, because I believe that they did away with the statute of limitations as they should have. Okay, so Sheriff Judd said Young used to be an athlete at the school and was known to hang out before being hired at the school. Okay, I worked in the public school system briefly before I became a nurse. One thing I do know is that they didn't let adults just hang around the school. What the hell kind of what was going on here? You had to, if you were even doing volunteer work, you had to have a background check. So how is this fool hanging around the school? That's what I don't understand. How he was even allowed to do that. And no, well, he's just hanging around, so let's just hire him. And no background check done. In 2017, Sheriff Judd said he supposedly had a young man in the car with him and inappropriately grabbed him by the leg, and it turned out to be a battery. However, Sheriff Judd added that during the investigation, the family became uncooperative and they were unable to charge him criminally. Sheriff Judd said that there are rumors that students who know Young often say he'll give you stuff, but don't let him touch you. I absolutely believe that. You know, unfortunately, see this more with black folk. Y'all don't care nothing about your damn kids. You just don't. You don't care anything about the safety of your children. You have no problem dropping them off at these churches and letting them be raped and molested by pastors and youth leaders and whatnot. And then you've got somebody hanging around the school, molesting students. The mother says, well, wait until Monday to tell somebody, instead of calling the police right then and there. Won't cooperate with an investigation of another student, so that way he doesn't get charged. And of course, nothing stays a secret. So, and Winter Haven is a small town. So yeah, they all know what he's doing. Take his stuff, but don't let him touch you. Fuck out of here. And he's HIV positive. This is a disgrace.